John Boehner, the House Minority Leader for the Republicans, who has called this financial legislation reform killing an ant with a nuclear weapon. Now, if you thought that financial crisis we hit in 2008, and that still affects a great many of us and has caused tremendous unemployment and an enormous recession, is an ant, well, then I guess you agree with John Boehner. And if you think that financial reform package, which is riddled with loopholes and is comical in 18 different ways, is a nuclear weapon, well, then that makes you a Republican. Because God forbid you should ever touch the banks or the bankers. Your whole job is to protect them. So, since John Boehner has said this, Obama apparently has gone on the attack. Let's go to Obama speaking at Racine, Wisconsin here, clip number 3.
So the leader of the Republicans in the House said that financial reform was like, I'm quoting him, using a nuclear weapon to target an ant. That's what he said. He compared the financial crisis to an ant. This is the same financial crisis that led to the loss of nearly 8 million jobs. Same crisis that cost people their homes, their life savings. He can't be that out of touch with the struggles of American families. And if he is, then he's got to come here to Racine and ask people what they think. Do you think we should fix? Maybe I'm confused. Do you think that the financial crisis was an ant and we just need a little ant swatter to fix this thing? Or do you think that we need to restructure how we regulate the financial system so you aren't on the hook again and we don't have this kind of crisis again? And so there may be those in Washington who want to maintain the status quo. But we want to move America forward.
You know what, I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. What frustrates me is this makes the reform we have now appear as if it's some sort of bold and radical nuclear weapon-like reform when it's not even close. You know, again, Senator Feingold came out today and said, look, this is ridiculous. It's not going to address any of the problems, and it's a fig leaf, and then they're going to pretend they solved the problem. Meanwhile, Boehner comes out and doubles down. He says, no, it's the administration that are out of touch. And he said, listen to this quote. They're the ones who are out of touch with that, with what the American people expect of Washington. The American people want us to deal with economy and jobs. By the way, when the Democrats went to go do that, effectual or ineffectual, of course, the Republicans all voted no. Okay. But he says, oh, we want the economy and jobs. And what have they dealt with? They've dealt with health care, they've dealt with cap and trade, and then they've gone overboard with financial regulatory bill. Doubling down, saying, no, please leave my bankers alone. Come on, they're just trying to make a living. They're just making billions upon billions of dollars in bonuses that they got from the U.S. taxpayers, either directly or indirectly. What's your big problem with that? And then Boehner continues that his reference to an ant was, quote, not a judgment of the financial crisis. It was how to fix it. Clearly there were holes in our regulatory process and that we could have fixed those holes, but that's not what this bill does. This bill goes way beyond all of that and puts the federal government in a huge role in terms of how our financial system is going to work in the future, and that's what I was talking about. See, the reason I read you that is because that is standard Republican boilerplate on every issue. Oh, we would love to fix this thing, but there's only a tiny little bit of problems that we could just put a little Band-Aid and a little Band-Aid there and we'd be fine. But what the Democrats have done, it's a government takeover. It's terrible. It's going to make the problem worse. And what do they actually do? And what do they actually believe? Today, Scott Brown, holding out as the one guy who's going to join the Democrats in voting for the financial reform bill, told people what his price was, and it looks like Chris Dodd is going to pay that price. And the price is $20 billion that the bankers were supposed to pay for this legislation. Now we have to pay. It's going through TARP, and the taxpayers have to pay that $20 billion. Scott Brown, who is posing as the most moderate Republican, like Boehner and the rest of them think Scott Brown is way too tough on the bankers. Scott Brown just gave $20 billion of your money to the richest people in America who caused the financial crisis in the first place. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. Out of your pocket, into their pocket. Instead of them paying, we pay. That's the Republican Party.